We're back and we're ready for our second game of today. And Moonwolf, they are back, Toby, but we're only 3 players. I'm hoping the 4th one will connect. I'm hoping they can stick it out. 3 is better than 2. 1 is better than 2.
It's just Okko anyway,
2 is
right?
better than 1. Oh, is it Okko that's not there?
As I was going to say, it's just Okko anyway, right? I mean, the fact that they can play it with 1, that's what I was trying to say. Because I do have my stats with me now.
Oh,
and Okko
here
is
we go.
the current kill leader from last week with 26 kills.
Is he the total kill leader as well?
From last week.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Happy day. So he's still keeping it going. That's group stages. We pointed him out as being an impressive new player we hadn't seen too much from. And when we say new player, we mean new players, contenders, of course. Now he's still topping it against an even harder lobby.
Exactly.
And they've not had games which have been like, oh, we've got a super game where we can stand out every single time. They've had a few wins in there, but nothing where you'd go back-to-back consistency jumping up. Like we were saying right earlier about some of the other teams who can have players who quite equally will split up the kills, so you never know who's going to pop off.
Yeah.
Okko is definitely the front runner for these guys.
He's in there, that's for sure. But overall, I mean, just like we saw with last game, stats can only tell you so many things.
Yep.
That thing where Tomil gets a triple kill on the Northern Lights team, statistically, sure, he's going to be the one with all the kills. But when you look at it, it was Sims who pushed down, he got the knock onto 1, they got the res in. Then Ultra comes down. Really great positioning from him in allowing for Tomil to come around and help, right? So it's very much a team. I think to me, that's just the perfect example. The way that 3 players from Besiktas put in such a big effort in taking down the 3 players in Northern Lights. And overall, statistically, the kills all go to Tomil. I mean, that doesn't really show half the history of what's actually happened. But as you said, James, fortunately enough, Moonwolf are back in it. And they're jumping down towards the area of Lipovka. So not really any big surprises in that regard. 7, they're going to go down towards the military power side of things again. And I believe, should that allow us to see Avangar in Primorsk, maybe?
Yeah.
Prim? Avangar, Prim? Are we back to those days?
Yeah. You know Avangar. Primorsk, Zaki, once upon a time, Stauber and
They've been all
Kameshki.
over the place.
Milta Power used to be the home, and you've seemingly given it up to 7. There's many wild varieties that Avangar come in at the moment.
I mean, it's one of those things where everybody knows the map inside out. B, if you're edge team, you're edge team. You can play from any edge.
Yep.
Sure, there will be some places that you're more used to than others, but in the end of the day, they've probably been on every single inch of this map at some point, and I believe they know it quite well. But I must say that North George looks pretty good right now.
Certainly does. Georgiopol, Severny, where Quickmath would usually find themselves going towards, they'll get in their vehicles and make it happen. Stauber and Kameshki are slightly in.
You know what I'm missing in this game? Some northeastern circles. We've only had like 1 or 2. We've only had 1 or 2 of them.
We've
right?
had some really solid games on Stauber as well. Remember when the Stauber ending was so exciting?
Really good.
I think off memory, it was Besiktas either won or came second, but it was insane when they were fighting right at the top of Stauber.
And I mean, it doesn't even have to be those crazy northeast of Kameshki type endings. It's just in that direction. More games over there, please. Let's go. It's always fun to see a little variety in circles. And North and Southwest have been the at least for the finals here, the name of the game so far.
Yeah.
And of course, Quickmath ain't going to be complaining about those northern circles. Besiktas as well. They got themselves a good 2nd place last game. They'll be looking to, to repeat, if not even do better than what they had going for them last game.
Now, one thing, Toby. When it comes down to actually what we get to see from some of these teams and what they're doing, the ones that you expected, and I know my answer to this is straight away, the ones I expected to do well haven't done well massively, but who would be your most improved team?
Because, a team that has improved?
Yeah, the most improved team. Because for me at the moment, it's Gamerlegion, not just because they sit up close to the top, and they are at the top at the moment. It's more the fact that we were so critical of them in phase 1 for so many errors. And then again, when they kept getting 2nd places, which is still huge, I was like, maybe they're just a cursed team. They're just not going to get the wins. And then they've turned this around completely.
I mean, we've got to keep in mind that from the close qualifiers for PEL, to begin with back in before phase 1, they almost made it to PEL. They were almost there for a while. And then all of a sudden we come into phase 1. Things aren't really going the way of Gamerlegion. They were right off the bat, boom, came off so strong, and then they started falling apart a bit. And also here in phase 2, I mean, in the group stages, it wasn't all flowers and sunshine all the way through. And then all of a sudden when they come into the finals, things just really started to work for them. They came off of a good finish to the group stages with the whole 2nd place curse being lifted with the win over Avangar and Miramar, and then they've just got going on Erangel. So I wouldn't say they're the most improved team, because I feel like now what we're seeing from Gamerlegion now is what I would have expected to see them do back when they were almost made it to PEL. Like they are that caliber team that can play at this level. They have just been in a, I don't want to say a slumber, but they just haven't really been able to find their groove in the group. And now they have, and that's when we see them from this side I would expect to see them from. A team to me, though, that has, not out of nowhere, but a team I might not have had the biggest expectations for would probably be NoTag, to be honest. NoTag, to me, they have been showing some really, really good good performances overall. They're sitting pretty well in it right now as well. And O'Connell, former Moonwolf player, I mean, great guy. And also the other guys, they've come in from multiple different teams. It was the Wizards, previously Wizards Esports, and they've just really shown me that even without T-Bone, because he used to play with them before he got picked up by Zoekt Een Naam, even without him, it was kind of the kind of smash bay situation with We Need a Home, where you take out a heavy hitter from the team. What can the rest of the guys do without him? Well, they've shown us they don't need that. I don't want to say better fragger, because they're all good players. It's just that T-Bone, to some, can be a bit of a standout player. Even without him on your team, they're still able to pull off really good numbers, and that's really impressive.
Well, that's actually a really good point you're making. Is some teams here, we speak about the individuals on it because they are the ones picking up the kills, they're doing wild bolt action shots from across the map and things like that. But I think one thing that has to always be considered is there are certain teams where they have to have that player that can step up. And if he can't, then it's not really working for him. But there's multiple teams, when you think of Zen, when you think of Besiktas, when you think of Gamerlegion, that multiple players can have these big standout moments. And Hanny, he's looking for his, he sprays it out. He's not able to connect all the shots, but he's looking for more of them. Buster and Edelweiss trying to guide their way up the hill. They will be able to escape, but Hanny, bro, done a bit of damage onto the vehicles at least.
The fact that they didn't get anything off of that is, I think I can be honest and say, a little disappointing. I mean, with the skills that these players all have, I think the decision-making letting the first vehicle come through made perfect sense, because that means that you're forcing the other vehicles to come your direction too. But I don't know if it was his positioning or how it was, but the fact that it didn't get at least the tire popped or something on the buggy there, that's unfortunate, because they had pretty much one guaranteed kill with the buggy. He had a full spray down on the buggy, and he had teammates shooting at it too. And the fact that they all managed to get away, I mean, 4-7, that's amazing. But for Riddle, that could have been an easy kill. Or at least a doable kill, I guess you can say.
Yeah, I don't think there's such thing as an easy kill at this stage, right? When it comes down to it, some of the easiest shots we've seen can be missed time and time again.
For sure. Now, interesting to me is these circles, which have a couple of them before. Of course, you can go anywhere. We could get a Pachinki ending in all of this. And, I mean, we never know. We never know what's going to happen. But if it does go north, which it seems like most teams are kind of committing to the idea of, we've had so many games go up here. And I'm looking at Quickmath right now, because look at this team. These guys have no looks. That's not what you want to do when you engage a compound. I want to look at Besiktas, and this is exactly what Besiktas have done so many times, and so many times have Quickmath been penalized for it. Lux pushing with a Bison. I don't think I've ever seen a Bison being used in competitive PUBG.
Can he get a kill with him?
But it goes to show how early they rotated. They spent time getting all the way up towards South George. They only took the essentials and got going immediately. So many games, I think it's 3 games over at the Grammar House on the eastern side of where we are here. They've been able to solo out Quickmath players because they know they like to split early on. And Besiktas, they have been able to do this so well so many times, and it seems like they're about to do it again. Yep, there goes Pelch and no help coming in.
He tried to escape, he tried to get away, but it wasn't meant to be. Tomil instantly hears him drop down, ready to react to it.
It's 3 times, I believe, or more now, that Besiktas have been able to do this towards Quickmath. And if you're Quickmath and you see these circles, and it happens so many times, it's a Bison vehicle explosion. I think that's the first one for everyone in the chat.
That's what happens with the extra bullets in the clip. You'll take
exactly, exactly. No, but I mean, this should not be allowed at this point. When it's happened so many times and you're playing a league over so many games, it's just, there's no room for having, I mean, you can make mistakes, but when it's repetitive like that, you have to be prepared for it at least. At the split 2-2 instead of in those 3-1 scenarios.
Smarter decisions have to be taken if you don't want to find yourself seeking out a hospital very early on. I don't mean the place on the map. I mean ways to get yourself healed back up, because your compound just got overrun by Besiktas and you're now running away into potentially other teams to firefight you with little information to play off of.
And honestly, I think as soon as the cars came rolling down the hill, Quickmath must have been like, yep, it's Besiktas. Better get out of here. And I mean, unfortunately for them, they lost 2 players in trying to disengage. So Not the best start for them, and all of a sudden, Hannibro, he's saying hello in Yasnaya, and we need a home. Well, I mean, they don't want to have him there.
Yeah, we need a home. We'll continue to take this area as well as the new circle pops. And they'll happily battle away against Riddle.
This circle has so many different potentials as far as outcome.
50-50.
That's one thing. You have Yasnaya in it, you have the whole school Razak area, you have a huge open hill on the northern side. So many different scenarios for in-game leaders to somehow have to prepare themselves for, well, I mean, all of them. Because as soon as that circle pops, if not even the second before, they need to start the rotation. And you better go in the right direction right off the bat. There's no... Once you start driving, saying, oh, should we go here, should we go here? You need to have your plan made before, like pretty much before you see the circle pop.
Mm-hmm.
There's so little room available for teams making blind rotations now that, and you know there's going to be multiple teams around you. So if you do commit to a compound, you got to get it really, really quickly, not to get third party.
O'Connell has to be careful there. He took a few shots at the Besiktas players close by, but they're in a good position to fight from here. So cover fire did come in. O'Connell wouldn't find himself any knocks.
Able to get back into safety, and Dees is just testing the durability of his vehicle. Well, it worked. And now it's parked again. I think that... Oh, I was going to say, did the nail up shoot down towards him? But no, Zoekt Een Naam positioning themselves for potential rotation kills, and one has come on the board already.
Easily done here as Zen are going to look to close PG-18 in. Some shots coming back out towards him. A headshot landed, and that will force Vasco to run away on very little health there. Now he's going to come out from T-Bone, and he's not done yet. He wants to be able to provide some cover fire for his teammates to allow that the push doesn't come in. The nade goes up onto the car. Dees goes down, and Vasco, he's not done yet.
That is just... That was more of a grenade launcher, a mortar maybe, than it was a hand-thrown grenade right there. T-Bone slung that one like 100 meters downhill and right on the money. Blows up Dees. Great throw. And good kill coming in for them. And now PG off to a rough start here in game 2.
2 players down from early on, and you're just going to try and hug the edge for now. You're not looking to push up into that.
Let's see, circle pop in a short moment's time as all these teams are making their rotations in Gamerlegion. Coming from the south have made their way all the way around east and up north, and Se7en, on the contrary, coming from the northern side, have gone all the way back down south. So we'll have to see which of them gets the better of it. Teams on both sides, and no one's really hard committing to the water area other than, I was going to say, Tornado Energy. Thank you, observers, for jumping over there, even though we know you can't hear me. Just thank you for timing that perfectly. I just love it when those things happen, where you're about to say something and the observing just quing. It's right there.
Great minds think alike.
Mm-hmm.
Is anyone ready to challenge onto Besiktas just yet? They've held this position for a while. There's so many teams around them.
Yeah.
They already bullied Quickmath away into a shack with just 2 players alive.
Bjorn was rotating, and it's not going to work out for him. PG there made their presence known inside this area too, and all of a sudden he's in all kinds of trouble, but he's not done shooting yet, unfortunately. Well, Yannick is telling him to stop, and he's going to get himself knocked, and now all of a sudden Gamerlegion need to 180 this one and go back, but seems like the call comes in. Do not commit to it. It's too late. Macken goes down, tried to help out his teammate. He's going to get finished off too, and now Fex and Hamster forced to drive off. Circle pops, and we're going north.
Northern Lights and Avangar will have to make their way over. Tornado have the bridge under their control, at least on this more western side of it.
It's up to the southern teams. How do they push this one through? PG. Oh, Avangar make that, sorry, up towards the bridge. Northern Lights, they're crossing as we speak, and you can see Tornado. Well, they committed to the western one, but no one's sitting there. And all of a sudden, the DP don't want to get back inside that car, that's for sure.
He rolled it off. Combat was lining up the shots perfectly there, but every time he just moved.
It's unfortunate. Lots of teammates fortunate to come pick him up. Se7en, they're rotating even further south. For those of you guys watching the map stream, Riddle doing the same thing, wanting to come in on the western side. It is only circle 3, so you can commit to this and do it. Of course, it's going to take you a while, and you're going to burn through some meds. It's not going to be easy, that's for sure.
Avangar got to be so careful here as well. We saw them just there, find themselves in a tough spot. More of the teams shooting at him. Melman wants to try and push on this here. We need a home in front of him.
We need a home have committed to the compound. They have them caught in a 2-2 split. Example is in a position to help, and now Rita goes down immediately. Millman is there. Gets some damage into one. Politero is down low, but he's going to get the one in return.
Very nice stuff there from Polidaric. He knew he had to try and come in there and save Rita. He had a decision to make, and he made it. And now the rest of We Need a Home starting to take the shots on Tornado, and they're getting picked apart here one by one. Example is looking around and thinking, there is nothing I can do here.
Example and Combat, they were trying to commit to the help there for a second, but they just made that decision way too late. If you want to help, you got to rotate down immediately and take the fight to them. Cannot just sit passively up on the top and, allow for them to take out your teammates. So that's going to be a Lee and Millman, 2 heavy hitters from last week gone out. And Example and Combat, we'll have to see if they can deal some sort of damage and get themselves some points on the leaderboards. That's just a duo.
Northern Lights are still looking for an entry here. There is so much of a hard decision to make for all of the teams who are still trying to push within this circle.
Interesting rotations coming in for Se7en as well, making their way all the way around south, but then swinging back towards Razak when they saw Riddle maneuver around them. Riddle on your screens. Being shot at quite heavily by Zoekt Een Naam. Fortunately, Yort does manage to get out into safety. But that was a lot of bullets coming his way, and that vehicle I don't think can withstand yet another rotation.
Yeah, no, another set of bullets like that, he's definitely being blown to smithereens.
So it's going to pop in short moments.
Thanks,
I was going to say, I think T-Bone just shot his teammate in the back of the head. That's unfortunate, but of course, a little up tap here and there. Never hurt nobody.
Give him a kiss and saying, don't die, I've got your back, quite literally.
It's like, before the boxing matches, the manager comes out and punches his boxer to get him in the mood,
Get him
preparing
ready.
them for the final fight, and they'll need to prepare themselves because they have to make a tough rotation into the open, potentially. You can see Gamerlegion there in the southern side of the circle right now, and, they're already getting shot at.
Gamerlegion, I feel like they've just been driving the past 2 circles.
They have been.
It's been so tough for them. And Active trying to land a few shots there onto the 7 players. Krabic barrels into the water. He does not want to stay up in the open. Doesn't want to be visible at all here. And they're still making hard rotations, these teams.
Everybody's driving on the edge to such an extent that they start killing each other too. Se7en runs over Yort. That's of course unfortunate. Now Desperado commits to the push on towards no tag. Nades are thrown already. This one is going to get chaotic.
Those nades were key. Did a lot of damage but couldn't find the knocks there. Aros getting away with very low health, but they are being absolutely taken out here. Desperado running and gunning, driving and gunning, completely full sending it. Now they have got Fake still knocked here. They need to bring him back up. Calvin Klein and Tozera need to be very careful. Tozera's taking a lot of damage as well.
The honking, the full commitment, everything went, somewhat at least according to plan. They lost 1 player in getting there, but honestly, I think if you can do a push like that and only lose 1 player, you're gonna consider it a victory and be satisfied with it.
That was a true yeehaw moment.
It sure was. I know it's how Sarah likes to call these plays, but it's not. We've seen them doing it many times, right? But it's one of those things where he has looked through the playbook and gone, "What's the safer play here?" But sometimes you just gotta look through it. There is no safe play. We have to get one of these buildings, and they committed to it and they got it. So kudos to them.
Element of surprise is a real thing.
Yep.
As Compop, he's going to try and surprise some of these 7 players. Should be well aware they're close by. He saw the rotations coming in, but timing here for Krabic. He finds himself getting knocked, and that's going to be knocked now and then in the circle, in the blue. Damage being done to him. Buster taking a lot back his way as well. Compot looking to single-handedly take them all down, and that's exactly what he's doing, picking them apart one by one. 7 are under pressure, and Compot, this has worked out marvelously.
If you're a David against the Goliath in the sense of numbers, you've got to pull off some of those sneaky, peeky, tricky moves, and all of a sudden, Tornado Energy, just 1 kill previously, takes out all of Se7en Esports. What a great effort. Comfort and Example working well together and getting down the elimination on them.
So no tag team out first. 7 will be our next team down and out of it. Brilliant work here from Tornado with just 2 players left alive.
This next circle is going to determine so many things. The people that have the compounds now, they can call themselves safe, at least for now. But once the circles shift, the compound that they have now could be the death of you in trying to leave it. Everyone can see somebody. That's the thing. There's nobody safe from all angles right now.
Winside will be the next team going down. They've been taking heavy casualties throughout this game. And T-Bone will be the final one to put the nail in the coffin.
I don't think Tornado Energy wants to use that buggy anymore. So it's just going to stroll. It's like the radio-controlled buggy that blows up.
Example! He jumps out, spots Quizzy, and will instantly get the kill onto it. That leaves only OK Bro in the deep, and the deep gets himself in the car, wants to get himself closer to his teammate here in the shack. But he has to be careful he doesn't get picked out of the car.
Yeah, 0 kills as well for Northern Lights. That's not the type of game you want to start off. Or have the second game of the day with, I guess you should say. They did manage to get themselves 8 points last game, but the deep is going to go down. And that's unfortunate because they actually were inside that next circle. I don't think anyone's really going to hard commit to OK Bro Shack here.
Yeah, maybe he gets away with the... Oh, well, everyone's died around you, so you're not actually in there.
Yeah, I'm looking at Moonwolf, though. What is Moonwolf going to do in this circle? They know they have to push down the hill, and there's no cover for them unless if they make some with vehicles on their side of the road. So maybe a potential push towards OK Bro or over towards Quickmath would make sense. Besiktas, they know what they have to do. They're pushing on forward. It's going to go all full YOLO into the head of the remaining players from Quickmath. But holy cow, that's an explosion! What?
Quickmath might be able to hold on to this. Tomel pushes in. He goes down. Besiktas out in 13th place. And somehow, some way, the remaining 2 players of Quickmath have stayed in here. Moonwolf's now jumped onto this fight as well. As we need a home go down to the hands of Zen. How is this battle still going on? Misse hiding in the shack, trying to get himself meted up. He needs to get the timing. But why are Moonwolf not pushing on this? They're also being shot at by other teams. And Misse, he can actually still pop out and do a lot more damage. Pick up extra kills. There's 3 so far. He's running around the side. He's looking for some further bodies. And he's probably looking for a lot of utility as well.
I think Miss is so confused at this point. So many things going on. It's so crazy. And Risu is going to be the last remaining player. If they can pull this off, then they can't, unfortunately. Risu able to stay alive, but Quickmath almost, with a little bit of help for the surrounding teams, managed to hold off 2 full pushes down towards them. What a cluster. In a shack, and 4 AK are charming in on this one too now. Risu taken down, that's just instant from a distance, and all of a sudden, 4 AK came into fight, but they get this one for free.
Kills, kills, kills. Big balls plays and craziness. That's the name of this game. We've just lost 4 teams in a minute. Maybe a minute and a half.
Absolutely insane.
And 2 of them were crashes onto one little shack.
We talked about it. I mean, crazy circles call for crazy plays, and there sometimes, as I said before, with the whole Saucer thing, there just are not any other options. You need to you look at it and you say, where's our chances of winning? Well, I mean, we have a 5% chance here. Good. That's the highest we're going to get. Let's go for it. I mean, there's not a whole lot more you can do sometimes.
Now, Riddle going to try and play it smart here, but they don't want to let themselves be found out in the open. Calvin Klein's taking the shots. Fake's there with him as well. Compot still with just the 2 players of Tornado are also getting active. These guys are non-stop.
They have not seemed to care that they lost 2 players earlier. They'll still go aggressive, get themselves some damage done, and try and make their way on forward. Se7en now caught in the open. Clip and Yo have made their way further forward, and they need to land all these shots to have some sort of a chance to rotate through.
Se7en is trying to duck away and get closer to his teammates. 4 AK are going to be dead central now. And are they the only shack that's in there? Oh, wow. So,
no, OK Bro Shack is in there.
So we've got 2 shacks in, OK Bro's in one, and then you've got all of 4 AK in the other.
Yep. That's the situation we've got to, James. Now you start realizing why that shack was such a key position to get to. Saucer trying to rotate around. Well, he's safe for now, but Zoekt Een Naam, they're pushing down towards him, and you can see they're starting to get shots fired in their direction too. T-Bone is going to go down, and once again, Tornado Energy, despite just being 2 players up, managing to get him points.
It's all about staying active now. Don't be still. Look at what's going on around you. Clip finds his bolt action putting to work. Yeah, we literally have... We've only seen a few nice, crazy shots from him recently. And then all of a sudden today, he started off with 2 huge ones in the opening games.
He is back, that's for sure.
No.
Hamster, Nate thrown forward, and that's going to be the vehicle come flying on it. How is Hamster not dead yet? What is going on? He does go down eventually. This game, James, I'm telling you, I've never seen this many teams do as crazy things that we've seen here. Gamerlegion, they will go out and talk. Last player with Aspirin trying to stay alive for Avangar.
Avangar fully committed to it. They had nowhere else to go. They managed to take it, but at what cost? All these nades coming out towards them. Aspirin's now on the floor, and Avangar are going out in 6th place. As once again, the only 2 players left alive for Tornado are just racking up kills here.
how in the universe is what we're seeing actually happening? Zoekt Een Naam, they've surrounded 10 kills, and we haven't even been talking about Zoekt Een Naam that much this game, because there's just been crazy happening all game, but they have had the high ground position from which they've been able to get their damage done in there. So 10 kills for Zoekt Een Naam, and yet another game with high kills for them. Really good performance. Riddle, they'll go down in 4th. I don't even know anymore. I mean, we got 3 games left somehow. Somehow we have 3 games, and somehow even more, Tornado Energy is still alive with 8 kills.
Yeah, 3 teams alive, and it has been monstrous from all these teams in very different ways. This has been one of the hardest games to follow exactly what's been happening, because no one has made a predictable attack onto any teams. We've seen teams just fully forecast, send it, run and spray, jump out in the open. Compot has been incredibly aggressive. 5 kills up on him out of the 8 in total for his team. And he's just been, no matter if it's 2v4 or 1v4, he's still taking shots.
From having seen this as a arguably passive-aggressive, I want to say, because there's not an aggressive group, but it's also not a sleeping group, right?
Yeah.
I have never seen these teams dare as much as they have been this game.
He who dares wins, my friend.
Also, got to put into account that it's the whole last week mentality thrown in there, right? You got to really commit to things now.
I did ask you if we'd see anything change up a bit. Maybe this is it.
Maybe we did.
It's the rush forward in a vehicle and see what's actually going to happen.
In all fairness, this area of the map doesn't really allow for you to do anything but that. I guess the only alternative you have is that you take your car and you get some sort of speed, jump out and run next to it and try to use it for cover, but that would be the only alternative.
The James Bond play, push it forward, hide behind the car, somehow no bullets ever hit you, and then you shoot and you land them all. Movie moments.
That's the alternative, and I don't think a lot of people are banking on that to work.
It's my new style of play.
Yeah, we've seen it happen in PUBG plenty of times before as well. Sometimes it works and it looks great, sometimes it doesn't, and it looks really weird.
I'd just be singing the Bond theme down the mic the entire time while doing it. Oh, Compot.
I think Northwest shot 4 bullets, hit 3 on the tree and 1 on the rock. He was hitting everything that wasn't combat there.
He's just making sure he knows that I got you marked.
Yeah.
You're in my sights, and now my teammates are also going to, yep, that's it. Oh, no.
Cannot overcommit, though. We saw last game how Desperado's almost threw it and overcommitting towards 7 when Besiktas was still alive. And if you can see Ronnie here, if he peeks up too hard, up towards Comfort, that's going to leave him really exposed towards Vasco and the guys in Zoekt Een Naam.
Yeah, Zen can just literally wait for this to go down. That's the problem.
They do not have to stress it.
Compot back to running. Goes to the same spot he was in before. Runs past it. Oh, I love this. Around the world. I'll take it, mate. Go. Keep going. Run those little legs off. Duck down a little bit. Be scared for a while. Find the mound. Prone back
in
down.
the circle.
I love it.
Buy yourself some time and you might get yourself a 2nd place off of it too. 4AK, they had a really tough 0-point game last game. This time around, they're going to turn things around with a minimum of, let's say, 12 points off of this game already now. And that's if they get eliminated now with no more kills. So great play from them. And they know they need it. I mean, they need this game and then probably 6-7 more of these performances if they want to have any chance of making it into top 12.
It's a true waiting game. Zen know they don't have to push on any of this.
They are just waiting to see that final circle pop, and it goes over towards them, so they're just going to clap their hands and wait.
And Compot says, well, maybe they'll fight and forget about me for a little bit, but it's probably unlikely, and I'll just start proning forward anytime soon.
Yeah.
No, he's not proning. Okay, I like it.
Well, I mean, he has been aggressive so far, right? Might as well just stick to it.
He's been incredibly aggressive, but I think he can smell that 2nd place. He's aware this is still a possibility. He throws out the grenade, and it'll just force Ronnie to run away. It won't do any damage towards him, but it will say at least, okay, Compot, we know where you are. And this is good effort, right? You've got a bunch of nades. Why not throw them all out? See what you can make happen here. Oh, my God, he actually lands 92. Is he throwing another one that door? Oh, my God. Compot is just barreling out grenades, and he's got the dead bodies to do it behind. Ronnie might actually go down here. And this is going to massively help Zen. As if this is real life. Compot, what is going on?
How many nades do you have?
He's got 2 dead bodies near him. He's been picking them up for ages.
He has like 10 nades. Well, I mean,
Zen is just watching like, hello? What?
That is crazy. And I'm actually surprised considering the fact that Zoekt Een Naam saw a person get knocked, a flush on that player, and a 2nd knock that they don't commit to it. I know there are only 3 guys alive and they really want to get that win, but that is a Zoekt Een Naam I would have at least before seen go aggressive on it, because you know one have to go for the res. That leaves only one player alive, and he cannot go aggressive while the other player is resing. So he needs to just hold the angle. They could have pushed around like you see Vasco do right now, try and get that flank. They could have committed maybe 2 players around and left Page up on the hill by himself.
No, I completely agree. Not this typical style of Zen we've seen, but we talk about teams changing, trying to improve, trying to bring a different dynamic to the team.
Also, it is an open field. I mean, can't really take that away from them. You can see the push they have to make it. Ooh, Northwest don't want to jump there. Don't want to pull off a... we should not mean anyone. There was a PL moment this weekend where people were jumping when they should not.
Can happen.
We'll leave it at that.
It can happen. I used to have my mouse wheel bound to jump, and that caused me many problems.
Oh, you're the bunny hopping Counter-Strike type guy, yeah?
Yeah, of course I am.
Of course you are.
Oh, Havoki's going to push up on this. Vasquez prone. Nixty might be the first one to be seen. Oh, have they seen him?
Great position.
Oh, huge. Finds himself the first knock, goes in for the flush, able to try and get it done, but Nixty's there, able to reply. Solid teamwork coming out here from 4AK. They've got a good position on this, but they're not far enough in the circle where he's going to be able to pull this res off. You see Ival and Page there. Eyes turn and they look around for it. Nades going out here. Northwest is just trying to hide himself in. He's avoided a lot of the damage, but these nades are getting closer and closer.
I have to throw it in there. Comfort is still alive in this game. He's crawling forward and everything he hoped for is happening right now. He got some kills before, and now all of a sudden the 2 remaining teams with multiple players are fighting each other, and it's all going down. Northwest gets a good one, but a nade thrown towards him too.
Vasco on the floor. Page is down as well. Finish off comes in. Northwest is next one to be knocked. How is he going to deal with this damage being done? Compot landing some shots. Compot is coming active and alive, but it's Ival who will take him down. Now, Ival, you have to try and win this out. You need to find Nixties. He's hid behind the rock. And is he going for the res? He is. They're going to turn this into a 2v1. This is huge. Zen taking full commanding control here. And they're looking to take the win and allow and deny everything that 4AK have worked for. Compot, once again, he has been a thorn in these teams' sides. Not so much Zen, but more for 4AK as that nade does so much damage. Nixty's healing up. He's got plenty of meds, but how long can you outlast 2 players on Zen who know exactly where you are?
He has very, very rough position. I like the way that he pushes it out of Nixty. He's now 1v1 with Page. Spots him, but Page gets the headshot in immediately. That was close and way too close for comfort. But Zoekt Een Naam, we've missed him on Erangel. Good 8-point game last game. All of a sudden, 14 kill win in their bag.
A lot more like the Zen we love and know. We like to enjoy watching and seeing how they play these things out. But I think Compot there, man of steel. Like, the nades over and over again, you could just watch that from his perspective for days to see how many nades he actually had. That would be hilarious. But also the fact he got 6 kills as a solo player. A few of them before he was solo, because he obviously was joined up with Example. It was him and Example just doing all the work. But they lost 2 players within like the first 5 to 10 minutes of the game.
I just want to throw in there, the first full speed forward push we saw at this game was at 7 minutes.
How many
everything since then was full speed forward pushes for everybody. There's going to be so many Reddit-worthy highlight type how to full speed forward in a competitive game moments from this game. That's very, very chaotic game for sure. There was a moment there in this one too that I thought Compot actually might win that game. He was prone up there for the longest of time, and no one seemed to care about him. And well, unfortunately for him, didn't really end up the way that he wanted it to. But interesting to me that Zoekt Een Naam ends up winning it, considering that they were the only team that was not part of all the cluster. They were the only team at one point that did not have anything to play from, as they had to make the move down from the hillside. But well, I mean, they found the calm in the chaos and managed to take that home anyway. Really impressive to see, and also good for them that they have managed to get things turned around on Erangel.
I've got to say as well, it's definitely been very good from Desperado. Last week, remember we said they managed to make top 8 in all the final 3 games?
Yeah.
They've started off with a win here, and then they went into a 5th place with 3 kills on this game.
Good performance overall there as well. We're one of the teams that committed to the compound. They got themselves into it. Sure, they couldn't do a whole lot from there, because as you can see, both Besiktas and other teams were constantly shooting at them every time they peeked out. But it worked out for them, and they got themselves points with them. This was just a cluster. I mean,
I love it from this perspective because, my God, trying to follow what was happening here was nuts. Every single player was trying to look for some cover. More cars were coming in. Moonwolf here, they jump into all the action like, hey, we can do this. We can join the party. And Missace just sat there thinking, wait a second, this can't be another team. And then all the other teams started shooting at him. It was just Oh, manic. Absolutely manic. Love it.
Absolutely crazy.
Can I get more games like this, Toby?
Just all over the... I mean, this reminds me of that one game we had east of Gatka. I think it was Se7en who was sitting there with Moonwolf and like 10 other teams pushing that same compound at the same time too. Remember that game?
I love it. I love all of that. When they just kept one by one by one. Anything that involves
madness.
Stuff that is very unpredictable and slightly chaotic.
Yeah. And that
borderline maniac, then yeah, I'm down. This is my kind of style of play. This was ridiculous though. He had so many grenades to fire out.
He had eight nades. 8 nades. That's the meta. 8 nades to throw. And honestly, when you're in a position like that, I respect the people that say, you know what, we cannot do this. We'll just hug it out and die to blue or whatever. But in his situation, he was behind cover.
Yep.
Might as well just chuck him and see what happens, because it's a very small area left to play from, right? So who knows what can happen. And well, I mean, he got himself a kill and a good placement point off of it too. So a solid performance for Tornado Energy. 9 kills and 5 placement points. That is not what we would have expected.
Moonwolf ended up getting 5 kills off the back of that as well. Very big for them, considering 3 players only alive in this, remember? And they didn't get any placement points off it, so they were just fighting early and getting the kills on the board. For sure. Solid stuff.
Besiktas went down a little earlier. They were committing early on, but important for them to see Se7en, for example, not make it in. And also Winside down in the lower part. So Avangar, they'll be clapping their hands. The tie with them is now no more. And they need to get things going too.
So much still within it. We've got one more game for today, Toby. And honestly, I want to see more of these whole team roll-up plays. I'm down. I enjoy it.
The Chaos Embracer.
Zen have overtaken Gamerlegion with that one though as well. 10-point lead now for them. Tornado continuing to add to their numbers as well. Couple of games now where it's been solid stuff from them. Compo obviously leading the charge in that last one. PG18, they're just on the edge of that 8th place. Quickmath got a bit of chasing to do on it.
I mean, Zoekt Een Naam has got 32 points in 2 games, right? If they can continue this into the last game, and we know they're now being strong on Miramar for tomorrow's games, I mean, I don't even know. That's crazy. Moonwolf, we can see in 10th, they caught back up to Quickmath a little bit. But things are really, really starting to get scary here.
Well, we are done for another game. One more to come your way, ladies and gentlemen. The question is, how is it going to go? Will Moonwolf come back with 4 players now? 5 kills with 3 alive. I'm taking that. That's a sign that, okay, we missed the first game. Let's just kill everything. So let's see what they can do if they get Oko back. Time will tell. But we're going to a break, and we will catch you guys very soon.